Hello and welcome to Home with Sarah Jane. Today I wanted to talk about what my plans are for homeschooling during the summer, and also what my plans are as a homeschooling mom, the things that I want to get done during the summertime as well. So if you're new here, hello and welcome. My name is Sarah and I'm a homeschooling mom to two girls ages 10, almost 11, and 14. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for stopping by once again. I do really appreciate you. So summer homeschool plans for us look different every single year. We've never had the same work to do over the summer, especially as homeschoolers. Things are just different every year in general. So the summer's no different for us here. Now, there are things that we're going to be doing together. We are going to still stick with like a morning basket, but a very light morning basket, like only maybe one or two things in that morning basket. And then my kids will have something very small, that I actually created for them to work on over the summer. So let's kind of talk about the things that we're going to be doing together. And I do have some notes, so if you see me looking down, that's what I'm looking at. Oh, first thing I wanted to mention is that the very first week of our summer break, we do absolutely nothing. Nothing. I mean, we will barely even keep up on chores the very first week of summer. So we don't do any kind of reading. We don't do any kind of schoolwork. Like I said, even our chores, we don't completely do. We just kind of keep the house, kept up, like dishes and stuff. But yeah, we take that first week completely off. Now, I do this for two reasons. One is I need that. I need that, and it's kind of like my little mom vacation. So I don't have to focus on a lot. A lot of the meals we'll even eat during this first week are going to be very basic or pre-made or something like that. Just, I'm done for an entire week in the summer. And my kids also get to take this time off as well, because I just feel that it's okay to just not do nothing. Wait, did I say that right? It's okay to do nothing sometimes. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay, so I do allow my kids to take this week off. Again, no reading, no school, no anything. I don't even limit screens well, we don't really limit screens too much anyway, but my kids are not, it's not chaos, but it's relaxing. So we do take that first week off. Now, after that first week, this is when we're going to jump back into doing a very light homeschool day. And that's always going to start the way we usually start our days, with the morning basket. Now, morning basket during the summer is something that we'll do technically during breakfast, so it's nothing really heavy. We're gonna do our read out loud, and we're gonna focus on a couple of little things. Now, the first thing we're going to be doing in that morning basket is read out loud, like I was saying, and we actually have already started The Hobbit, but I know that we're still gonna be working on it by the time summer rolls around. So we are gonna be finishing up The Hobbit, and then we're going to go into The Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring. I'll put a picture because I actually don't have a copy of it yet. I lent it out and I don't think I ever got it back. So yeah, there's that. Or maybe I accidentally donated it. I don't know, but I need to get a copy of The Fellowship of the Ring, because over the summer, that's pretty much what our read out louds are going to be. We're going to focus on the Lord of the Rings trilogy, plus The Hobbit. So we'll be reading this one. And then we will also be reading The Two Towers. And these are pretty thick. So, I mean, maybe I'm wishful thinking. I'm hoping we can get through all of these, but, that's our goal. Our goal is to get through the Lord of the Rings trilogy. So, Two Towers, and then we will also be reading The Return of the King. Now, my kids have already seen all of the Lord of the Rings movies. They've never watched the Hobbit movies, so that's something we'll probably do when we're done with this whole series. But my kids really enjoy the movies, so I'm really hoping that they'll enjoy the books. I've never read all of the books, so I think I've read The Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship one. I think that's the only one I've even read. So yeah, this is going to be new for me. Now, if we have time, and only if we have time, because again, during the summer, I don't want to overpack our days and stress us out. It is a time to kind of relax for us. But if we do have time and we finish up some of this, I will start the Narnia series with my kids. And if I do, someone actually suggested that I do it on Audible because it does all the voices and everything. And I think that that would be really convenient. So we will start the Narnia series on an audiobook if we finish up the Lord of the Rings series during the summer. So I am kind of crossing my fingers on that, because that was something I was really bummed that we had to skip this school year because we just didn't have time. And I really, really wanted to read that series with my kids. So those are our plans for Read Out Louds. Now, the next thing that we'd be doing in our morning basket is going to be life skills. Now, I know this sounds kind of silly because as a homeschool parent, this is something I kind of already focus on, but I feel like I'm lacking a little bit. Like sometimes I'll forget about just the very basic life skills, like because it's just something I just assume we do. And then I was reading through this book, which is very like beginners and basic. And I was like, I don't remember, you know, talking to my kids about this. So I did pick up the life skills for teens. I think they have one for, I can't speak. I think they have one for kids as well, but because my youngest is about to be 11, I kind of feel like this is going to be fine for her too. So we will just be working through this book a little bit each morning during the summer. Again, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, maybe one little section a day. I'm not sure. I didn't really map it out. But here's the table of contents, and just in case you want to see what it has to offer in here. And again, it is a very basic book. So it's nothing, you know, it's like reading a nutritional label. You know, just very, very basic things. And some of these things I know will be review for them, but that's okay, you know. That's okay. Okay, now let's talk about what I have mapped out for my oldest daughter. My oldest daughter, Bella, she is 14 years old and she is just wrapping up her 8th grade year. So this is gonna be the last summer before she's actually in high school. So I really wanted to focus on some more reading for her and also something fun. So something that she would be really interested in. Now for her readers, I picked out 4, but if she doesn't get through them all, that's okay, because these are just kind of books that we had on our reading list for high school that I thought that she could get like an early start on. And she actually picked out these books. These are the ones that she wanted to start with. And again, I only chose 4 because she is currently reading through another book series right now. So she is currently reading through, I think it's called The School for Good and Evil or The School of Good and Evil. I'll put a picture of one of them, but she's currently reading this series, and it's these books are very thick. So it does take a while for her to read them, and I didn't want to like bombard her with too much reading over the summer, especially when we're supposed to be taking it easy. Now, when she does her nightly reading, it's only Monday through Friday. Even during the summer, we stick to Monday through Friday. Sometimes it'll be like a Tuesday through Saturday if we, you know, need to adjust days, but it's just 5 days a week. She has to read for at least 20 minutes. So my kids usually read more than that at night, but it's a minimum requirement in my house for them to read 5 days a week, 20 minutes a night. Did I say that right? 5 days a week, 20 minutes per night. Yeah, or day, whatever, whenever they want to read, just as long as it's 20 minutes. So there it is. But the ones that she's going to be reading, the first one I actually don't have yet. I lost my copy, and this one was on me. I actually left it somewhere, and I never replaced it. So the first one she's going to be reading is Of Mice and Men. Well, I shouldn't say the first one. These are in no specific order, but she'll be reading Of Mice and Men. She will also be reading The Pearl. This is a used copy, and somebody wrote a not nice term on this cover, so I covered it with stickers because I couldn't, you know, get it off. So yeah, so I covered that with stickers. That's why there's stickers right there. But she'll be reading The Pearl, Beowulf. And again, these ones aren't very thick. Like, even if you look at, you know, this is a pretty thin book. Pretty thin book. And then she's also going to be reading The Outsiders. Now, this one does have a movie. I think Beowulf has a movie too, but this one does have a movie that I'll have her watch as well. So she's going to learn who Ponyboy is and, you know, staying golden. But yeah, so she'll be reading The Outsiders as well. Now, if she doesn't make it through all of those books, it's really not a big deal to me. That's just kind of a goal, but not a super hard, you know, you have to do this. Because again, she is about to enter high school. I want her to be able to take a break. And also, we could just add these on, you know, during a different year if we need to. So not a big deal. So now that you know what Bella's going to be reading over the summer, I wanted to show you what she's going to be working on as well. And this isn't anything super heavy or, you know, anything too much, I feel. I think this is going to be the perfect amount of work for her. It's going to be fun and it's going to be different, and I think she's really going to enjoy it. Now, normally when I assign work to be done to my kids over the summer, it's something that either they didn't finish up during the school year, or it's an area or a subject that my kids struggle with. This year I decided not to do that with Bella. Well, for one, she'll be finishing all of her curriculum by the end of the year. Most of it will be done early. And another is she really wasn't struggling in any specific subject or area in school. And we kind of take care of that as it comes. So there wasn't really anything she needed to focus on this summer. So I decided to ask her, hey, what do you want to do for your subject or your work this year? Bella really enjoys fashion and sketching and history and, you know, all things like that. So I decided to take that love that she has for those things and create a little workbook for her. I didn't have time to bind it. I do plan on spiral binding it. I do have a machine that I use here at my home, but I do have a binding machine, and I'm going to spiral bind this for her so that it's not loose and it'll be easier for her to work through. But what I did was I created this little book of fashion through the ages, or fashion through the decades, whatever you want to call it. But I created these little worksheets for her on Canva, and I just thought that these are going to be a lot of fun. I think she's really going to enjoy doing this. She'll probably only do about 1 to 2 worksheets a week, so it's not even a lot of work, but it's something that she's already told me that she's looking forward to. So how I'm going to use these is I went through and I actually put years up on top of the little worksheet. So this one's from 1900 to 1909, and she is going to sketch the fashion, the most popular fashion from that time. She's going to tell me what she thinks about it right down here. And then on the back, there's a section where she can write down the popular accessories of that time. She could draw her favorite one. She could actually take, what am I trying to say? She can list the different types of shoes that were popular at that time and draw those out as well. And then at the very bottom, it just says major events and people in history. So during this decade, basically, I want her to write just a few short sentences, or even like in a note style way, just kind of jot down some of the major events from this decade and some of the major people that made, you know, a difference during this time frame as well. So each worksheet looks the same, except it's a different decade. So again, we're starting at 1900, and it's going to go up a decade at a time until we get to 2020 to present. And she will have to do all of this research on her own. So she'll just have to go online and research the different fashions throughout the different decades that I assigned to her. So this is going to be a lot of fun. I know that she's already looking forward to this. I know that she's really going to enjoy this. And again, it's only something that she's going to be doing once or twice a week. So it's not a lot. And you can even see, like, I didn't leave a space where she has to, you know, write paragraphs upon paragraphs. It's very basic answers. It's more about studying fashion because she enjoys it, sketching it out because she enjoys it, and just getting a little bit more history in there for her because she enjoys it. And then when she's done with all of these, I just printed out this little essay prompt where she'll just write an essay about what her favorite fashion period was and why. So that's all. That's all she's going to be doing. And again, I'm going to be putting this into a little book for her, but I think that she's really going to enjoy this. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. And again, I really wanted to focus on something that she was going to enjoy, especially because her workload for next year, being a high schooler, it's different, and it's not just everything that she gets to choose. And my kids are very involved in their homeschool choices and what they learn about. And in high school, it's not, it's a little bit like that, but there are requirements in our state that she has to meet. So she doesn't just get to choose everything next year. And so I really wanted to focus on something that she could enjoy and have fun with over the summer. The last thing that I'm going to be having Bella do this summer is focusing on hair. Yes, hair. Now she really wants to learn how to do different hairstyles and just practice, you know, combing hair in different ways and using different, you know, styling products and things like that. I mean, like, not like styling products like hairspray, but like styling products like curling irons and flat irons and things like that. And my youngest daughter and I don't always have time to sit and have her practice on our hair. So I went ahead and I bought her one of these like little, what would you call this? Like a little hair model thing, whatever this, I don't know what the name is, but it's this. So it's somewhere like a little, modeled head. I'm struggling here. It's a little modeled head that she could practice her hairstyles on. So I decided this would be a lot of fun for her to do over the summer as well, especially on those really hot days when we can't go outside. She could go ahead and practice, you know, different braids and different styling, and just, it's just another like little life skill. You know, I still like to have my hair done up and get all fancy every now and again. And I just thought it would be a lot of fun for Bella to go ahead and practice different hairstyles and just practice, you know, something she likes, something she was interested in. So that's what I plan on doing for my 8th grader, soon to be 9th grader, for this summer. Okay, so now let's talk about Lydia's plans or goals for her summer homeschool. Now for Lydia, she will not be done with her math curriculum. So we will be continuing Simply Good and Beautiful Math 5 with her over the summer, but we're not really going to, you know, do it all the time. It's just going to be maybe 2 to 3 lessons a week, wherever we could kind of squeeze it in. I don't care if she's not done with it by the beginning of next year. She could just continue to work through Math 5, and then once she's done with that, go into Math 6 next year. It doesn't really matter. So, but we will focus on a couple of lessons each week for her, just to, you know, keep it rolling along. But for her readers, she doesn't really like to map out what she's going to be reading. So she told me that she wanted to focus on poetry, and I said that's fine. So she wants to read through these Shel Silverstein books, or Silverstein, however you say it. She loves these books. We have read through all of them before, but she said she wants to go through and reread them. So she's going to be reading through Falling Up, A Light in the Attic, and Where the Sidewalk Ends. Now, if she doesn't finish all of these, it's not a big deal, because it is, like I was saying earlier, it is required that my kids read 20 minutes 5 days a week during the summer. Well, all the time actually. But so she could choose whatever book she wants, but she said that she wanted to focus on more silly poetry. So that's what we kind of have on the list for the summer for her. Now for her fun like lesson, I made her a little workbook as well. Again, I haven't had time to bind it. I need to spiral bind this, but I made her a reptiles and amphibians research log. So this is going to be a lot of fun. She is going to love this. Again, I like to focus on an area of struggle for my kids usually during the summer, or curriculum we didn't finish up. And for Lydia, she's having a hard time with writing. Now, it's not that she can't write, it's that she doesn't like it. So what I want to spend this summer doing is having her focus on writing about things that she enjoys. So I created these worksheets on Canva. This is just the cover. It's just a little cover for her little research book. But what this is going to do is she is going to use these worksheets with this reptile book that I pulled off my shelf. So I just went in my library in my loft and I found this DK Smithsonian's Handbook, Reptiles and Amphibians book, and I pulled this off the shelf. She has read through a lot of this before, but she really enjoys this book, so I thought it would be a fun way to link in her writing and reading. So she'll be reading through this book, but what she'll do is she will go through this book and she will choose a reptile or amphibian of her, of her choosing, and she will make a little log using the worksheets that I created for her. So again, she'll probably do this once or twice a week, but she will fill out this form about the reptile or amphibian of her choosing from the book, and she will end up writing their common name. She'll write or circle whether it's a, let me go over here. This is better. So she'll write the common name of the reptile or amphibian. She will circle whether or not it's a reptile or an amphibian. She will also circle whether or not it lays eggs or has live young. She will circle whether it's venomous or non-venomous, and then she's going to just fill in some facts about them. And all of these questions can be answered using the book. So she doesn't have to like research on a computer or anything. She can just get all of this information from that book that I base these worksheets off of. So under the facts, she'll write the size, the status, so whether or not it's endangered or common or whatever, when it's active, so whether or not it's nocturnal, the diet, so what they eat, the habitat, and where they're located in the world. So she'll write where they're from, but then I also added this little map on the bottom where she could just put a little dot marking where this reptile or amphibian is from as well. So it's a little bit of geography as well. Now on the back, to tie in a little bit more writing, I have this area for her to actually draw it because she enjoys drawing as well. But this section here is where she's going to write about the reptile or amphibian that she chose from the book, about the things that she learned or anything like that. Anything she wants to write down about this reptile. I am not going to be grading this like in a way to where I'm going to be focusing on spelling or punctuation or anything like that. This is really just to get her to enjoy writing words on a page. Lydia, like I said, she doesn't really enjoy writing, and this is my way of trying to help with that. And it's something that we could focus on over the summer in such a fun way. So again, I'm not going to be correcting it in a way that, you know, because Lydia doesn't like to spell words wrong. It makes her like uncomfortable or anxious. And that is part of the issue with writing for her, is that she doesn't want to be wrong. She doesn't want to spell things wrong. So it's been really challenging for her to just get her ideas onto a page. So we're really going to be focusing on that. Just getting those ideas onto this page and feeling more comfortable with writing. So this is just very basic, just some lines, picture, and again, on the back she'll answer some questions. But like I said, I just made these on Canva, super easy. And I really like that I added this map. I'm horrible with adding geography in, so I just thought that this would be a little bit, you know, more of that. So this is going to be a lot of fun for her, and I did base it off of a book that she does enjoy, so this is going to be just so much fun for Lydia. Now, the last thing that I plan on doing with Lydia over the summer, and this is more for her hands-on, so, you know, Bella had her little fashion workbook, Lydia has her reptiles workbook, Bella had her little like styling of hair. Well, Lydia is going to focus on cooking. So we are going to be focusing on getting her more comfortable in the kitchen, learning about how to be safe in the kitchen, and then just practicing making some recipes. So instead of me being right next to her and telling her what to do, I want her to read through this, and I'll be in the kitchen helping her out as needed, but I want her to show me how to make a recipe. So instead of just me being with her while she's cooking, I'm going to have her kind of show me how to make these recipes and just get her used to reading the recipes on her own, and also just being safe in a kitchen, because sometimes I feel that that could be something that we overlook sometimes. So just talking about being safe and making some recipes. So the books that I decided to pull off my shelf for her to get the recipes from are the Complete Baking Book for Young Chefs. And this one is 100+ sweets and savory recipes that you'll love to bake, share, and eat. And then the next book I pulled off is this DK Complete Children's Cookbook, Delicious Step-by-Step Recipes for Young Cooks. And my oldest daughter has used these books in the past, so we do like these ones. I really enjoy when cookbooks have like full color pictures and very easy, basic, you know, instructions. So these would be really great for Lydia. So that is everything that I pretty much have planned for my kids to do over the summer. Now, I do want to mention that I do still keep a summer science cart. I did make a video on our summer homeschool cart before. I will leave that down below if you want to watch that video. But I do create a cart every single summer that just has like leftover arts and crafts and activities and experiments and things like that that my kids have all in one spot on this homeschool cart. Like I even add in like their microscopes and microscope slides and things like that. Just I put all of this on this cart so that it's all in one area, and they could do any of those experiments or crafts or art projects whenever they want during the summer. So again, I'll link that video below if you're interested in seeing how I put that together. But yeah, that is pretty much everything for my kids. Now let's kind of talk about what my summer homeschool plans are as a homeschooling mom. My mom goals for the summer to help with our homeschool, and that is I want to make sure that I can map out and plan a lot of our school year for next year. Now, what I mean by that is I don't like to sit there and schedule everything out, but I want to have a good idea of, you know, the amount of lessons we need to do and things like that, just to have a better understanding and make our days smoother. So I'm going to be spending this summer going through, flipping through all of our curriculum choices and just kind of mapping out what we need to do for next year. I do it every single year, but this year it needs to be a little bit different because Bella's going to be in high school and there are like time requirements and hourly requirements for certain subjects and things like that. So that is something I'm going to be focusing on a lot during the summer. Another thing that I'm going to be focusing on is trying to figure out how I want to do morning basket. I am kind of up in the air with our morning basket right now. It's going to be different. With both of my kids being older, I don't want to take too much time focusing on morning basket, but I also don't want to not do morning basket. I really enjoy having that morning time with my kids, having that conversation, learning about new things together. So we are going to continue it, but I'm going to kind of revamp our morning basket. And that's kind of what I'm working on over the summer as well. Now, the last thing that I really need to focus on is like cleaning. I need to reorganize some of my homeschool stuff. I already went through some of my books, and I'll insert a picture, but I did post on my Instagram page that I went through and donated 212 books from my library. I know, 212 books I pulled from my shelves and I was able to donate. So I already kind of cleaned up our library, or our home library, but I really need to go through the cabinets with all of our homeschool stuff. I did do it during my during my 30-day cleaning challenge, but there was so many bins in there that there was stuff that I was like on the fence about that I think I'm ready to let go of. So I want to go through all of our homeschool supplies, all of our old curriculum, all of that, donate what I can, take notes of everything that I have on hand so that I know going into this new school year what I need to purchase supply-wise and you know, just making my life easier. So I'm going to take this summer and I'm really going to focus on just mapping out and making things easier for us for next school year. And that's pretty much our goals. So I hope that my kids enjoyed the workbooks that I put together for them. I do really think that Bella's going to enjoy the fashion one. She did say she's looking forward to it. And Lydia did say she's excited to be able to write about reptiles, but we'll see how it goes. We will see how it goes this summer. If you have any questions, please leave it in the comment section. Thank you so much for stopping by. You have a great day. Bye.